I love it.
Hi, and welcome to Coffee with Courtney. I'm so glad you're back with me today. If you haven't yet, go grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, anything you'd like to sip on during our chat today. So let's say, oh my gosh, we have a special friend here today, my friend Stephanie Pletka, who wrote Living Your Best Life. Stephanie was letting go of self-doubt, fear, and other expectations to live the life you've always dreamed. Stephanie, oh my gosh, being a mom is tough. It's tough. As they say, momming ain't easy. That's actually my mug today. Momming ain't easy, girl. Okay, right? Let's talk about breathing room. But let's get to your book right away. What caused you to write this book, Stephanie? Welcome. What caused you to write this book? How did it affect your family when you said, I am implementing breathing room? Where did you get to that point? How did you get to that point?
Well, first, I would love to say how excited I am to be on this little show. It's amazing. Like, you inspire moms, and I'm going to share this with everybody. So thank you for having me on. I appreciate you.
Stephanie, thank you for being with us.
So, okay, I just love this question. Years ago, my husband and I, we had two entrepreneurial companies, and I had gone from that whole like climbing the corporate ladder, and I really love that. I love the achieving and the adventure and the travel. Mm-hmm. And then I got married, and then we had 4 kids under 7 years old. And I remember thinking, I felt sort of guilty because I was like wishing for my old life back, even though I had prayed so long for the one I had.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm sure a lot of people can relate. It's like, it's just crazy and chaos, and how many ways to cook a chicken? I mean, the swirl and the twirl and juggling of all the things. And you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even feel like I own my life anymore. And I remember I was pulling into carpool, and I had 2 kids. I was pregnant with number 4. I had 1 kid in like 1st or 2nd grade, 2 in preschool. I don't even know. I couldn't even remember all their names, you know.
1, 2, 3,
and
4.
I remember all day long, girl. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember sitting on the end of my bed crying, and my husband's like, what's wrong? And I explained, you know, that there had to be a happier, freer, more unstuck life. Like I was seeking, this had to be more fun, you know? And I was just seeing all of the hurry, go, and kids that don't want to eat the food that you cook, you know, a slave of the kitchen. And I just thought, you know, I get kids to school late, and I just automatically felt guilt. You know, I would just bring down shame and the lies that I tell myself that I'm not enough, that I should be further along in life. And I know right now there are a lot of moms out there that probably feel like me, especially homeschooling during the pandemic. I mean, I didn't even know that Pluto was no longer a planet. And I'm like, I am schooling these children. Oh, dear Lord. And you know, yeah, like before the kids had, you know, they had a teacher and a PE coach and a lunchroom worker and a bus driver, and they did all those things, and it was amazing. It really takes a tribe. Right. And yet when they come home, I'm doing everything, and I have these standards. If it's not perfect, if it's not all right, then I've just done everything wrong. Right. And I remember pulling into carpool. I was in the middle of selling my business, and I got a call from the preschool teacher. And she's like, I said, are the kids okay? Right. Yes, they're fine. But she said, I'm worried about you. And I thought, yeah, you know, it's like someone was reeling me in. How did she know about me? But she's like, I see that you're like a rogue spin top. You know, it's like the more hurried you are, the more hurried you are. And she said, I'm just want you to know that I see you. Oh, you matter. And I could cry today because I felt like she saved me. She helped me see that I could stop the madness by just accepting myself and loving me and giving myself grace. And that's really how this book began.
That's awesome, Steph. And I mean, so many moms could relate right there. I mean, we just want to be seen. Sometimes it's nice to just be seen by another woman, like, you're doing a good job. And often we look for validation, right? I mean, oh my gosh, like my kid didn't shower before the choir concert. And the first thing we do is tell another woman that, like, I meant to give him a shower, but I just didn't have time. As if they really care, but we almost need validation, that expectation from one another, right? So to have a woman just stop and go, actually, you're doing great. That must have just put your little mama like heart at ease. I mean, how do we implement breathing room in our lives, Stephanie?
Yeah, I love this. So for me, I just kept feeling like, I've got to get out of this hurriedness of life.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have children. A couple of my children are quality time kids, and two of them are like, if I go like, get in the car, let's go, they are all in.
Yeah.
But I have this one kid that he was in the foyer and he was just crying. He's 3 and he's just bawling. And I thought, he was not made for this hurried life.
Mm-hmm.
And yet he may not remember all the things that I tell him, but he'll probably remember how I made him feel. Yeah. And I thought, I am putting this on him, and this is not what he signed up for. And it was like God was showing me through that little fellow that I need to slow down and find ways to really enjoy the ooey gooey goodness of life. Because, when we're born and then we have that dash, and then the day we die, that line, that dash, that's where all the ooey gooey goodness of the destination. It's about the here and the now and what we're going to do with it.
Right.
And I just realized that day I need to pull back and not allow the to-do list to become my boss, because when you spend time with humans, there's just no box to check.
Oh, totally. I love that. I often feel like I got to get all this stuff done. And meanwhile, I have that same little kiddo tearing up. Like, I just want to spend some time, or you need to give me a minute here. And I love the verbiage, ooey gooey goodness. Like, I often think of it actually, when I'm with my kids, I'm like, oh, this is the ooey gooey time. I love it so much. Yes. Spending time with my kiddos is ooey gooey good time. Okay, Steph. So your information is so encouraging and helpful to women. I just love being friends with you because you just have like a happy soul, a happy spirit, a joyful spirit, and it's contagious. I love it. Please, I want my girlfriends watching right now who are having coffee to get this information from you. Where can we find it? Where's your book? Where can we find you on social media?
Yeah, so you can go to Stephanie Pletka on my website, and you can get a free copy of the chapter on creating breathing room. And awesome. Before you even do that, there's also a Facebook group. It's Stephanie Pletka Best Life Group, and there are hundreds of women on there writing stories and inspiring and encouraging, empowering other women. It's where the conversation is. So I'm excited. I actually have a few of the tips on creating breathing room if you want to hear them before they can actually download it and read it.
Oh my gosh, I would love that. Please share.
Yay. Okay, the first one is comparison traps. We've got to stop comparing ourselves to others. So what I used to do, and just to let you know, I mean, I brushed my hair and I got my top on, and like 10 minutes ago I was getting the dog got in the trash, and I was cleaning that up, and the laundry room's a mess, and
right,
all the things, but it's okay because it's life. Life is not perfect. It's just maintenance. So anyway, so number one is do not compare yourself to others. I would do it as a measuring stick for success. I was just wanting to see where I lined up on the totem pole of life, and I would see that mom in the carpool line, and here I am. I looked like my hair had been licked by a camel, and I would be driving through in my boxers and a horrible t-shirt, and then there would be a mom talking to the principal, and I just thought, show off. Like, what is she doing? Like, who gets at 7:30?
Right.
And it's
all put together.
Yes, I love your little baby there. Look there. This is real life. Yes. And but I remember thinking to myself, I was like, maybe this is her first interview since the kids are in school. And this is like, she's so excited to get this job. And so instead, I just rolled down the window and I was like, looking good, girl. And she's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I needed to hear that. And I thought, we are better together, right? Instead of looking left and right and comparing ourselves, and we're better together.
Absolutely. I love that you encouraged her. Number one.
That was number one. Number two. Okay, so breathing room for me, just to kind of give you a definition, is that margin between the road and the cliff's edge. And that's that space. It's like before you just go off the cliff's edge and you go crazy and want to, burn everything and, holler at the kids. And I mean, just all that, right? And so number two would be prepare the night before. And I know it's like, duh, but you know what? I have prepared and gotten all the kids' clothes laid out. And as they've gotten older, they do that for themselves. Now they make their own lunches. But I got to a place where it's like, I didn't have one shoe, and it was by the mailbox. And you know how it is.
Yeah.
It's like, it will just put you into, like, catapult you into crazy. And then you get in the car and you're late because you left, 10 minutes later than you should. The traffic's bad. You didn't put fuel in the car the night before. And it's just, could it get worse, right? Mm-hmm. And now you've set the tone for the day. And I think that time I got up early and I didn't hit the snooze button too many times, and I ran 2 miles and I had a juice before I went to work, and the kids were in the car, and they matched mostly. That felt so much better, right?
Right.
I have to tell you, and you'll have to share a story, but I remember one time my husband was like, he had gone out of town, and you know how it is when you got littles and they were all asleep by 8 or, kind of in bed, right?
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh my gosh, there's nothing in the house. I don't have bread. There's no jelly. I mean, I ain't got nothing, right? I had nothing. And I looked in the freezer and oh my gosh, there was a frozen chimichanga. So I put it in little Andrew's lunch and I sent him off to school, and I get a call at work and they're like, hi, that frozen chimichanga, we don't have a microwave. And I'm like, well, y'all should look into that.
I feel like. That's hilarious.
That's number two.
Be prepared is number two. Okay.
Be prepared. And so I'm trying to think. Okay. So then the last one would be, are you ready for this?
I am.
Establish boundaries. Okay.
Oh, that's hard.
No, not boundaries. I know I've put up boundaries before and they're like, are you doing that just to make me mad? And I'm like, no, I'm doing it to honor me. I'm just one person, right? And of course I would love to say yes to everything, but then somewhere around like Christmas and the PTA and all the things, and it's like, I said no to this, and yes to all these things. And then all of a sudden you're like, you're just mad at yourself because you didn't give your best yes, right? Like Lisa Turker says, give your best yes. And we didn't, and I didn't. And then now I'm begrudgingly going to the thing and not giving it my all, and I may be late. And it's like, when we only have so many yeses. And when we give them all out, we're telling our family no. You're telling yourself no.
Right.
So just be real careful on establishing boundaries, because a boundary is like a parameter that you put up, and it needs to be made public, because if you keep your boundaries a secret, no one knows, right?
Right.
So it's like those little flags when you put in the yard for electric fence, when the dog's trying to figure out, when he knows where the boundaries are, he feels safe. Yes. He knows it's safe to run around in freedom. Mm-hmm. And so when someone oversteps that boundary after you've said no and they keep coming back, they're a trespasser. And that's when you have to have a little conversation. So those are the 3 things. And as a bonus, I would probably say, get in the car. Like, this is another breathing room for me. I get in the car. If I have to sit in the driveway and I can't even go anywhere, I'm going to like holler, lament, scream, cry, dance, get my favorite music in the car, and I will sing it over and over. And there's no Sesame Street or nothing. I'm
Right.
eat a chocolate bar in the backyard by myself and not share it. Like,
In the bathtub.
Amen, sister. What would you do? What are some of the things that you integrate in your life?
Stephanie, I love those. I love the boundary one. I often would overbook myself, and then I wouldn't be giving 100%. And then I'd be so upset. And then I was missing the ooey gooey because I was so busy trying to accomplish all these things because of the expectations I had put on myself, which is ridiculous. I am with you with singing as loud as I can in the car. I love it. I love it so much. And it doesn't happen very often, but every once in a while I'm cruising down the freeway, turning the Sesame Street DVD off and just putting on like show tunes. I mean, me and Julie Andrews, The Sound of Music, it doesn't matter. I find myself then being able to talk openly to Jesus then. I'm talking to him. I feel like I'm free to express whether I'm yelling or crying or happy or joyful to him. I feel like there's a moment then where I feel so reserved on what I would say. Not that I would really anyway, but obviously I'm not going to share with my children in prayer what I would be talking to God about. And sometimes verbalizing it aloud is a lot different than my quiet time, but alone in the van when I'm able to just like, Lord, I'm so angry about this, or I'm so happy about this, or oh my gosh, I didn't realize how blessed I was for this. Speaking of, my little ones keep popping up. But your 4 steps are so helpful. I appreciate it.
I heard everything.
Thank you. Can you give Mommy about 5 more minutes, please?
Yeah, don't share with nothing. Bennett, come on.
So this is my real life.
And I love it because this is real life. They're looking at you as an example and going, look, Mom's happy. Mom's doing something that she loves. Right. You know, and they see you, it's a work in progress, and this is what this is all about. Right. I love that the kids are coming in. I want to leave you with one thing, and that is, we can't do this alone. You know, I can say all day, like, I can do all things through, it says Christ who gives me strength, right. Not through Courtney or through Stephanie. Right. You know, on my own, I cannot get it done. On my own, there is shame and guilt. But I just want to remind you, Ephesians 2:10 says that you were created as a masterpiece to do great things. He didn't say that you're average or you're okay or you'll do. He said, girl, you are a masterpiece created to do great things. And sometimes, you know, I still tell myself those lies. I mean, it's still, there are things I tell myself in here. No one tells me at Target that I stink as a mom or a parent or a sister or anything. It's me. And my southern accent, you know. And so Galatians 6:9 says, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up. That's key. Don't give up.
Don't give up and create breathing room. Stephanie, you're a wealth of information and such a dear friend. You guys, if you haven't looked her up yet or read her book, please, Living Your Best Life by Stephanie Pletka. Thank you for joining us for coffee today, Steph. It's such a blast being with you. And everyone, thank you for dealing with my littles. I'm not going to lie. I saw one of them grab the bucket of candy from Halloween. We're crazy around here. And I was like, go for it. All right. Hold on one sec. Hey, guys, keep it down for 1 more minute. Thank you.
It's so cute.
Thank you for joining me in the chaos.
Thank you so much. You're such a great friend, and keep doing the work that you're doing, because what you do matters, and people need to hear what you have to say and only the way that you can say it, Courtney.
Thanks, Steph. I appreciate it. You're an important part of the body of Christ. And our friendship is really important. Thanks a lot. Girls, ladies.
We're better together.
We are, totally. And ladies, you're an important part of the body of Christ as well. Don't forget that you have special, unique gifts that God created just for you, just for Stephanie, just for me, but all together, man, we are amazing for God's glory. Thank you for joining me for coffee today, friends. Stay tuned for next time. We're going to have some fun fall ideas coming your way. Thanks again, Stephanie.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Is it done?